Ugly motherfucker.
10 spellbinding mysteries about predator Yautja anatomy from reproduction to Elixir blood explored in detail. Did you know that DC Comics published Batman vs. Predator and Superman vs. Predator in the years 1991 and 2000 respectively? Well, such is the influence of these master hunters. Predators have become cinematic monster icons since their introduction in 1987, fueling the imagination of several filmmakers for years. So what makes them one of the best hunting species ever? There are several factors embedded deep in their genetics, anatomy, and physiology. Their advanced technology and weaponry further enhances their brute physical strength and features such as their deadly mandibles. Because predators are such influential figures in the history of cinema, we have made several informative, explanatory, and gripping videos on these dangerous creatures, including videos such as Predators Beyond Movies and Female Predators. Marvelous Videos also has a dedicated playlist to predators, and don't forget to check it out, as it will only quench your thirst for knowledge about these fascinating characters. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Yautja's mysterious blood has life-giving properties. Yautjas devote their entire lives to the most violent and aggressive form of blood sport, and to win the game, they never hesitate from sacrificing their own sweat and blood. Yautja blood is a bioluminescent compound of neon green color. Furthermore, their blood is known to have life-giving and healing properties. For instance, Hunter Borgia from the 2005 game Predator Concrete Jungle would have died as an infant had he not come in contact with the blood of a Yautja named Scarface. Ultimately, Borgia lived for more than a century thanks to his prolonged use of Yautja blood. The character of Lee Yat-sen from the comic Aliens vs. Predator Eternal lived for an abnormally long period of time because he went a step ahead and consumed Yautja organs instead of just their blood. However, it's not just humans who got extra life from predator blood, but practically any organism can live longer with its help. Their blood is also known to have neutralizing effects on the corrosive xenomorph blood. It is possible that Yautjas are essentially cold-blooded creatures, and that's why they prefer warm, equatorial climates to hunt in. Genders of Yautjas explored. Most Yautjas that we've witnessed in movies, games, and comics have been male. However, there are female Yautjas, including Big Mama, Sister Midnight, and Valkyrie amongst others. While Big Mama doesn't have any pronounced female attributes, Sister Midnight from the 2000 Dark Horse comic named Witchblade/Alien/Darkness/Predator Mindhunter, or the Valkyrie Predator from Predator Hunting Grounds, both have visible feminine traits, such as breasts and even dreadlocks that end in a ponytail. The reason why we don't see many female predators is that the females of the species usually reside on the home planet and collectively raise the Yautja offsprings. Despite this, females are considered equal to their male counterparts in terms of their respect and position in society and their fighting skills. During the mating season, male Yautjas move to their home planet where the females choose the most suitable candidate to mate with. The decision is usually made on the basis of skill, power, and number of victories. It isn't certain whether the males stick around to help with bringing up infant Yautjas, which are also called sucklings. Yautja reproduction, secrets revealed. It's unknown how exactly the Yautjas carry out the physical act of sex for the purpose of reproduction, but their physiology, including their obvious mammary glands and exterior testicles, reveal that it must not be that different a process to the ones that humans undertake. Interestingly, the dreadlocks play a major role when partners are being chosen. The longer the dreadlocks, the more good-looking the Yautja. Deshande revealed that sex was pleasurable to both parties, but it could sometimes be deadly for males because the females become violently excited during the process. It's noteworthy that only the blooded male Yautjas are entitled to mate, and there's no upper limit on the number of sucklings they can father. For instance, Deshande is known to have at least 73 offspring. Males usually attain the blooded status after 50 years of life, as, by this age, they become skilled enough to hunt their first xenomorph and mark themselves with its blood. The primary intent of the males is to produce as many sucklings as possible so that their bloodline will continue to flourish even after their death. And to achieve this, many Yautjas have multiple female partners, which makes them polygamous. On the other hand, there's evidence that females might be monogamous. For instance, Hashori from the Predator Incursion was the leader of a widow clan, or a clan of female Yautjas who chose not to mate further after their partners died. Life cycle. The just-born Yautja is known as a youngling, suckling, or pup. After a few days, the baby reaches a stage where it can begin the training that's required to hunt. This is the stage where Yautjas are called unblooded. After they've completed their training, the unblooded start taking part in hunts and are called youngbloods. These youngblood Yautjas are skilled enough to take down several species, including humans. However, they are not considered true hunters or adults who could take part in mating. The status of an adult Yautja is achieved only after they successfully kill a xenomorph, and especially a xenomorph queen. After this, they are called blooded. After years of hunting in various parts of the universe, blooded Yautjas are given the title of elite. These elite Yautjas can face several xenomorphs simultaneously and can even hunt bigger and deadlier xenomorphs like queens, praetorians, or predallions. When an elite is selected to teach the unblooded or the youngblooded, they are known as leaders. At other times, elites can become enforcers who are tasked with stopping and killing bad blood Yautjas, those who don't follow the code of honor. An elite can also go on to become an elder or a clan leader. Finally, the eldest of living Yautjas are called ancients. They don't necessarily take part in hunting and only act as a guiding force to other Yautjas and also serve as the administrative head, appointing enforcers and sending them on missions to stop crime. When a Yautja faces defeat in battle, its first move is to detonate the self-destructing device in its wrist gauntlet to save itself from capture or a dishonorable death. But more on this later. Predator genetic superiority explained. From the films and comics, we've learned that the Yautja are physically incredibly resilient. They could heal from minor wounds inflicted by gunshots and the like, and they could survive high levels of nuclear radiation. Even if they become severely wounded, they could give themselves medical care, as did the City Hunter in Predator 2. Their physical strength is clearly more than a match for even hulking humans like Arnold Schwarzenegger's Dut from the first Predator film. Naturally, they have an edge when it comes to unarmed combat, with the ability to tear away a human spine and head from the rest of the body. If we consider the lower half of their bodies, they're skilled climbers and jumpers. From climbing buildings and moving through treetops to jumping from great heights and rooftops, the Yautjas can do it all. Furthermore, the Yautjas have evolved into a species that could adapt to various climate conditions, though they prefer hot and wet equatorial climates. One of the most notable features is the Predator's heat vision. They could see radiation ranging from infrared to ultraviolet with ease, but their biohelmets further enhance this ability. Looking at these extraordinary abilities, a question arises as to how the Yautjas became such a superior species. According to Hunter Borges' mother, the Yautja genes consist of superior material to that of humans. This superiority can be attributed to the fact that Yautjas are a much older species and millions of years of evolution have provided them enhanced features. We mentioned earlier that the Yautja blood is life-giving and healing powers, so if we use their genes and blood correctly, humans could enhance as a species. Another proof of the amazing potential of Yautja genes is witnessed in a predallion. Predator Dreadlocks. The Dreadlocks are a predator's most prized physical trait. They serve as a symbol of beauty and maturity. However, some speculate that the ability of a predator to sense heat comes from the dreadlocks. Whatever the case, predators are known to care for their dreadlocks and often beautify them by attaching jewelry, though this jewelry might just be human skulls and bones. When an unblooded Yautja attempts to become a young blood predator, it has to go through the painful process of getting its locks plated in a long and agonizing public ceremony. If the little Yautja shows any sign of pain by flinching or getting tears in their eyes, the entire process is undone and restarted. That's just cruelty, but then who are we to judge? As mentioned in the 1996 comic published by Dark Horse Comics named Predator Strange Rue, when a predator's dreadlocks are injured or cut off, the creature bleeds profusely. Often the dreadlocks serve as a means of identification, differing in length, shape, and girth to those of other predators. When a xenomorph chestbuster comes out of a predator, it has grown with several host characteristics, including the dreadlocks. However, the features of the other hosts, such as humans, are less pronounced in the resultant xenomorph. Yautja's biohelmet is no less than Batman's Gadget. Remember the part of the Justice League when Flash asked Batman what the latter's superpower was? And Batman said,
"What are your superpowers again?" "I'm rich."
Well, riches aren't the only way to secure high-tech gadgets and weapons. If you belong to an ancient race of otherworldly beings, you might have such tech. And well, you might have a helmet that's more efficient and powerful than anything our Caped Crusader has to offer. A Predator's biomask is also called a biohelmet. It does protect the Predator's head from various incoming blows, but it does a lot more than that. It's an important piece of Yautja weaponry that serves as a high-tech visual aid, giving the Predators heat and electromagnetic vision, while also providing zoom capability. It also records, stores, and translates the voices of its prey. This helps the Predators to understand their prey better and also aids in mimicking them for baiting purposes. Aside from these functions, the biohelmet additionally helps them to breathe. The skilled hunters often need to know the diagnostics and vital statistics, and the biohelmet once again comes to the rescue, making the headgear a Predator's most convenient weapon, apart from perhaps the wrist gauntlet and the combi stick. However, it is not known to many that the wrist gauntlet and the biohelmet are somehow connected to each other. Furthermore, the biohelmet acts as a targeting device for the shoulder-mounted plasma caster. Apart from the basic biohelmets of the City Hunter Predator and the Jungle Hunter Predator, there have been many variations in the designs. For instance, Serpent's biohelmet resembled the head of a xenomorph, whereas Spartan's biohelmet came with two visors and looked like a Greek Spartan's helmet. The wrist gauntlet packs a bomb that could flatten 300 city blocks. Another powerful piece of Yautja weaponry is the highly advanced wrist gauntlet. It's a piece of multi-purpose equipment comprising a satellite communication device. It controls the Predator's invisibility, sometimes houses the plasma caster, and holds a self-destruct device. Some wrist gauntlets have power punch gloves and first aid equipment kits too. Yautjas live their lives upholding a code of honor which they would die for. Naturally, when they are faced with imminent defeat or death, they activate their gauntlet's self-destruction device, and within seconds the explosion can claim up to 300 city blocks. Yautjas carry out this self-sacrifice to ensure that their technology does not fall into the wrong hands. However, a more plausible reason is that getting killed or defeated by an alien is dishonorable. So, in the last bid to ensure the death of their enemy, they employ the device and seek to kill both themselves and their enemy. Such devices are also found in Predator ships, evidently for the same reasons. The blast bears resemblances with a nuclear explosion, but it cannot be said for sure if the device works by atomic fission or fusion. The explosion causes a mushroom cloud, and the effect of the blast on survivors resembles the diseases caused by overexposure to radiation. There's no evidence that the self-destruction countdown can be stopped once started, but if the wrist gauntlet is damaged or the arm itself is severed while the device has been activated, it stops the explosion from taking place. What did Yautjas evolve from? Yautjas are known to have originated and evolved in a hot temperature planet called Yautja Prime. However, the 1999 comic titled Predator Homeworld had some interesting ideas about why predators kept coming to Earth. In the comic, an enforcer predator came to Earth to stop 3 young blood predators who were killing just for kicks without following the Yautja Code of Honor. Dr. Maya Bergstrom from the comics had several unproved theories about the origin of predators. Her research concluded that predators had originally developed from mammalian earthly animals called therapsids. These were a class of now extinct animals that had tusks with frontal incisors and lateral canines. These organisms evolved around 275 million years ago and became extinct 100 million years ago in the early Cretaceous period. She believed that an intelligent race of species took these animals from Earth and placed them on Yautja Prime, where they were able to evolve into fiercer beings. And it was the natural instinct of Yautjas to come back to their planet of origin constantly and resume the pleasure of hunt that was taken away long ago. Interestingly, the therapsids had both reptilian and mammalian traits, and in fact, the last of the therapsids to go extinct were mammals. This explains the reptilian and mammalian traits of the Yautjas, and also their ability to survive and thrive feeding on earthly plants and animals. Furthermore, the ability of Yautjas to sustain without their biomass and breathe Earth's air could be related to their earthly ancestry. However, this is all mere speculation, and nothing of this sort has ever been confirmed or clarified.
He's awake! He's awake! Hey, cover down!
The complicated literature and language of the Yautjas. Predators are known to have a language that's spoken in the form of growls, clicks, roars, and snarls. The language, which is written in sets of dashes, doesn't seem to resemble any language found on Earth, contemporary or archaic. We found these writings on their biohelmets, wrist gauntlets, and architecture, but the creatures also seem to have distinct dialects. Many historians believe that a community becomes a civilization when the people who constitute it can speak and write in a language that others understand. By this definition, Yautjas were more than a bunch of hunting beasts. They were socially far more advanced than their arch-enemies, the xenomorphs. In the movies, we saw that predators imitated human speech and repeated the words or phrase to further their deadly agendas. Hence, they probably had some understanding of what they had learned. In fact, a few predators even learned the English language after having spent an extended amount of time with humans. Most interestingly, Yautjas understand humor, although they might have a weird sense of it. For instance, Scar made a dead xenomorph to shoot its jaw. This shocked and startled Lex, and Scar seemed to enjoy her fear and state of trauma. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.